So 1 second, you see that I will be explain you. Okay. So it's a G code for milling ma. Two of you very important. One is your proprietary function, other is your miscellaneous function. Okay, this is a G code in your milling first. This is very important for you to write the program. The code only what means it runs you the program all these things. So already told that G0 is your positioning, rapid linear positioning, and G01 is your linear feed interpolation, linear positions, horizontal. This is Z, X, Y, like this straight line, and then your perpendicular, all this thing. And G02 is your counter. One is a clockwise, G02 is a clockwise, and another is a counter clockwise. So this also very important, like your clock. Okay, G02 clockwise circular interpolation, and G03 is a counter clockwise circular interpolation, and G04 is the dual, and G07 imaginary axis. For example, in your cylinder, you have to make a center line. That's the imaginary line you have to make. Like this, it must be imaginary axis of both X or Y or Z, like this imaginary axis designation. And G0 is exact stop, not fully stop, exact stop. And G10 offset value setting. Offset, there's a distance 1, 2, or 10, like this offset value setting. And G17 XY plane selection, X and Y, two axes, X and Y plane selection. G18 ZX plane selection, and G19 YZ plane selection. So this must be, you know that, but fully we cannot remember all the things. Okay, the remembering you have to be G00, G01, G02, G03, G04, and G20 input, and 20 is in millimeter. This only we are in mm only we are. The dimensions is in mm. So G20 is inches, and G21 is your mm, millimeters. Then this job must be give only in your mm, 70 mm, 22 mm of this rod. Okay, and G22 stored stroke limit on, and G23 stored stroke limit off. This two. Okay, this two stroke, single stroke, double stroke, like this on off. And 27 reference point return check. That is a G0 the positioning, like this. Your reference point, your like your graph reference point, you make it like this. Reference point return check, and G28 return to your reference point. G29 returned from your reference point. So this three thing is your positioning of this to your reference point, and 30 return to second, third, and fourth reference point of this. Okay, and 31 skip cutting, and G33 is thread cutting. This you are turning, you are having. So this code only you have to make it as a G33 for your thread cutting, and 40 your cutter compensation cancel, 41 cutter compensation left, and 42 cutter compensation right, and 43 tool length compensation, and 44 tool length compensation plus direction minus direction this, and 45 tool offset increase, and 46 tool offset double, and 47 tool offset double increase, and 48 tool offset double decrease, and G49 tool length compensation cancel, and G50 scaling off, and G51 scaling on, and G52 local coordinate system, and G54 work coordinate system, G55 work coordinate system 1 and 2 selection. This you have to know that, but you have to keep in mind, but it will not write in this. And 56 third selection, and 57 fourth selection, 58 fifth selection, 59 sixth selection, and 60 single, and 61 exact stop mode, cutting mode, and 65 macro simple call, that is custom, 66 macro model call, and 67 macro model call, and this coordinate rotation on 68, 69 re-coordinate coordinate system or rotation of off, and peg drilling cycle 73, and G74 counter tapping, and 76 fine boring, and G80 canned cycle cancel, and G81 drilling cycle spot boring. The depth cutting that in this milling that has been there, and 82 drilling cycle counter boring, and 83 peg drilling, and G84 tap cycle, and 85 boring cycle, and 86 again boring cycle, 87 back boring, 88 boring, and 18 boring, and just very important 90 absolute programming, and 91 incremental programming, and 92 programming of your absolute zero, and 94 is a feet per minute, and 95 is the feet per revolution, and 96 constant surface speed control, and 97 constant surface speed control, and 98 return to initial point to can cycle. This also okay. G00 like this, G98 and G98 entered to reference point in can cycle. So in this 10 code is very important. G0, G01, G02, G03, G04, and then G8, that is a 9091, and then your canned cycle 80G80, and then your 28 this return to reference point, and then your G21 millimeters. So the 10 G code you have to remember to write the program of a simple program. After that, you are depending upon your thread cutting means that this code must be put in, and your boring means you have to put it. Fine boring here, this code you can put it, and 88 means a boring cycle, you have to put this, and tapping means this put. So depending upon your operation, the code must become one time only. What type of your shape has been means at one time only, but you have to very important of you to remember the code 10 code. Okay, cutting 1990. And then M code for your milling, same thing. M00 program stop, M01 optional stop, M02 is end of the program, M03 spindle clockwise on, spindle on clockwise, M04 spindle on counterclockwise, and M05 spindle stop, and M06 tool change, and M07 mission coolant on, and M08 flood coolant on, and M09 coolant off, and this is your orientation spindle on, and spindle off of a M20, and 21 tool magazine right, and 22 tool magazine left. There must be a rotations of this left right, it must be selection of this, but it is not very important. Only your M06 very important tool change. So tool 1, tool 2 like this. Okay, and M23 tool magazine up, and M24 tool magazine down, and M25 tool clamp, and M26 tool unclamp, and M27 clutch neutral on, and M28 clutch neutral off, and M30 N program stop and rewind, and M98 call subprogram, and M99 N subprogram. So like this here in your milling of your G code, here M code very 6 only you have to know that. M00 program stop, and M01 optional stop, and M02 user end of program, and for all this thing clockwise spindle on M03, M04, and spindle stop must be your M05. If it is a clockwise means M03, if a counterclock means M04. And every tool chain you have to put it M06. M06 is your tool chain. And if something's the big of this, so you have to on your coolant. So that's a M07. And the tool has been clamped means in your some special features, so you have to put it M25, and M30 is the end of the program. See that, very important. So program stop, end of the program is M02, but fully M30 is the end program, stop and rewind. So in this very important, M01, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8, if it is a coolant on off, 7, 8, 9, and then here M30. So this all the very important in your building of this. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, sir.
1 minute.